First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming today, Myra, and participating in this individual trustee forum. The first question I have for you is, can you share your personal experience with Catholic education and how it shapes your approach as a trustee?
Well, thank you for asking that, and thank you for doing this, Mark. I'm very privileged and fortunate to have served as a trustee for the last 8 years. I love what I do. And so I'll just give you a little bit about my background. I grew up in Karachi, Pakistan, where I received all my education in a Catholic all-girls school. And our family had to leave because of religious persecution, because Christians were only 2% of the population. So we came to Canada, and I was very fortunate to attend St. Mary's High School, where I graduated from. And so, my family and my growing up and attending church has basically rooted me in my Catholic faith and made me a very person of great faith, encouraging sacraments, encouraging our students to have sacraments. So as a trustee, I draw on these values to ensure that our Catholic schools remain Catholic. Very concerned about what's happening, because right now there's only 3 provinces in the country that have Catholic education. So for me, my Catholic faith is really important to fight for it and to ensure that Alberta will continue to offer publicly funded Catholic education.
How do you see your role in protecting and promoting the Catholic identity of our schools while serving a diverse community?
Well, protecting Catholic education, as I mentioned before, is at the heart of what we do as trustees. We are very concerned about the future, about what's happening in the public arena. And so for me, it's about forming students, ensuring that our students have that publicly funded Catholic education so we can build them spiritually, morally, so that they have good values, so that we can have what we have in our Catholic education currently, Catholic faith, and have Christ at the center of everything that we do. To me, it's walking our talk and practicing what we say we do. And so to me, that's what Catholic identity is, and I know that right now, the Catholic school does a lot in terms of social justice. I'm a person who believes very strongly in social justice. I've been very active in that area. I represented Canada at the United Nations for human rights. And I've traveled all over the world doing volunteer work to help people. And to me, it's a continuation of that, to continue that and build strong students so they can give back, because God has given us so much. So it's giving back what we got.
What do you see as the biggest challenges facing students and families in Catholic schools today, and how would you address them?
Well, I'd say the biggest challenges facing students today is the complexity in classrooms. Classrooms are not what they used to be in the olden days. Now we're getting students with all kinds of, learning disabilities, mental health issues, additional language learners, and the classrooms, we don't have enough space. We have infrastructure problems. The biggest challenges also facing families is transportation. Because we don't have enough space, students are being driven across town. And that shouldn't happen. We should have schools right in our own communities. It's challenging with our teachers, because our teachers are stressed to the limit. They are not just teaching, they're becoming caregivers, they're becoming social workers. And so it affects everyone. It's a ripple effect. And those are the big challenges. I'd say the complexity in classroom, the funding is a huge thing, because if we don't get funding, we cannot serve our students and our staff. So I'd say that those are some of the big issues. I'm happy to say that I, as a trustee, the trustees, we were able to have in my wards 4 new schools, and so that's wonderful, because trustees work very hard to get more infrastructure from the government. And so I'm proud of being a part of a great group of trustees who really take their job seriously.
Thank you. What makes a trustee successful, and how would you measure your own success in this role?
Well, for a trustee to be successful, it's important that you really care and you believe and you're passionate about what you do, and that you come prepared and that you do your homework ahead of time. And then when you're really passionate, you will go above and beyond. You have to be a good listener. You have to be empathetic. You have to, I'm a mother of 2 children, and I can relate to parents, and it's important to, as well, because we all have difficulties in life. And when you've gone through difficulties in life, I know that I have, and lots of others, it makes you more empathetic. It makes you a good listener. So to have good governance, you have to also have the courage to ask fair and tough questions of the leadership. I'd say that I'm the type of person who's not afraid to ask tough questions in a respectful way, and I also think outside the box. So as a result of that, I'm very proud to say that I was a trustee who was able to convince the board to have the risk register, which is very, very important for our district now, because now we can go over all the risk that potential risk that we could be facing as a school board. We didn't have that before. And so now, we have that. So the other thing I'd say in terms of governance is that I've been a very strong advocate for diversity and inclusion and equity for our students, and to ensure that our schools are reflective of the communities we serve. And so I ask a lot of questions about that at the board table. I'm a big environmentalist, so I also ask those questions. And so, I think it's important to also have integrity and not to be afraid, and to be kind and to be a good listener. So I think those are important qualities to have in a trustee.
Thank you. Should you be successful and serve a 3rd term, Myra, what are your goals for the upcoming term, and how would you plan to achieve them?
Well, I'd say that right now the biggest thing that trustees do is we're governors, and we don't get involved in operational matters. So we set the strategy for the district, our board priorities, and everything in the district is based on those board priorities that we set. The other thing that we do as trustees is hire the chief superintendent. And our chief superintendent is going to be retiring next year. And so we only have 1 employee. And that person, we give them the full reign to run this district. And so we have to ensure that we hire the best for our district, because we have over 6,000 staff, 64,000 students, and 120 schools. And that's a big district to manage. So we need to ensure that we get qualified people who can understand, people who can listen, and people who are not afraid to make change. Because, change is not easy, but things are changing very rapidly in this world, and we need to prepare our children for the global stage, to compete internationally, but also keeping in mind our faith, because our faith and our Catholic values are at the core of what we do, and to ensure that, our children are receiving their sacraments, and that our children are going back to their parents if they're not coming to church, and getting them back into our Catholic faith. So I think those are important. Advocacy is very, very important. I advocate vigorously with the politicians, with the MLAs, with the Minister of Education. I sit on the Alberta School Boards Association. I'm a director on that. I sit on many boards. And so I'm a strong advocate of funding, of infrastructure, of classroom complexity, because that's where our biggest challenges are right now. So I'd say that, advocacy and working and having, being able to go out and listen to your community, to your parents, to the students, to the staff. I'd also like to see us engage more with the community, so that trustees, sometimes we can be isolated, and I would like to see more engagement.
Thank you for that. That concludes the questions I have for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing comments that you'd like to share?
Well, I just want to say that it's a tough job being a trustee. The landscape is changing very fast, the education landscape. Everyone's fighting for the government dollar. And as trustees, you need strong advocates. You need people who are not afraid to approach politicians and to educate them about what's really happening in our schools. Because a lot of times they're unaware about all the challenges our teachers are facing, our staff are facing, our students are facing, and so we have to educate them. And so I'd say that I have over 30 years of board experience. I've served 8 years as a trustee. I'm one of the only ones who have my chartered director's designation as a chartered director for McMaster University. I've served as a commissioner on the Calgary Police Commission and on numerous boards, Calgary Co-op and numerous boards. So I have a very strong governance background, and we need people who are experienced, who are knowledgeable, and who can lead this district and our kids into the future. And I believe I have that, and I'm very happy to serve another term. So thank you for taking the time to speak with me.
Thank you, Myra.